in my heart, what's left of it, I want him to answer for his crimes, and I want him to be incarcerated for the crimes that he has committed. I want someone to hold him accountable because he's clearly never going to hold himself accountable. You're not who you think you are. You're not as grand. You're not as important. You're not even as smart as you like to think you are. What you are is a pariah. You're an evil ball of nothing, and you need to start realizing it. And there will come a day in your life where you will no longer be able to hide from accountability. And on that day, I hope you learn something. And until that day, I hope you prepare for that day, because it is coming.
Alright, so I thought I'd give you guys a quick little update on our boy James Saroka here. Since my last video, he has remained in jail and has attended his arraignment hearing, where he pled not guilty and was assigned an indigent defense attorney, which is basically a public defense lawyer paid by the state. Since James obviously can't afford his own lawyer, he was homeless, living in a car eating out of napkins.
Napkin.
And oh boy, the lawyer they gave him seems preoccupied, to put it nicely. He's supposedly been practicing law for 10 years, and he has a total of 20 cases under his belt, which he thinks is good because he highlights it on his site. He doesn't specify how many cases he's won or shows satisfied client reviews, something common among lawyer sites. I was able to find through a bit of digging an unsatisfied client's review for him. This is from the Facebook page Rate Your Attorney. Mark A. Shantz, private attorney out of the Hartley Law Firm in Tulsa, who also doubles as a public defender in Rogers County, which is where James is right now, as well as a few other counties. One reader writes, probably the most disappointing criminal defense story I have ever seen in action yet. Very poor defense. He was privately hired to handle a legal matter regarding my son, who was falsely accused of a crime in Claremore, where James is. Imagine that! Crime I had thoroughly researched in all available police records of the alleged crime. I dissected and outlined every discrepancy and problem that revealed a sufficient lack of evidence and gathered personal statements from eyewitnesses that proved his innocence and gave it to Mr. Shantz, who would have nothing to do with it, yet still worked closely with the DA while my son was being threatened and forced by Rogers co-judge, DA, and his attorney to cop a plea deal or else. While in jail, my son was asked by the other inmates who his attorney was. He told them Shantz. They told him that they would sell him down the river. And that he did. At this point, I didn't realize that he was a public defender who worked for Rogers County. By far the most worthless attorney I have seen thus far. I would never recommend this attorney to anyone. And this is James's lawyer. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. So despite spelling his name wrong in the review itself, the poster includes images showing the lawyer's name spelled correctly, as well as his accolades that would match James's lawyer, and is the only M. Shantz practicing law in Rogers County. So it doesn't seem like James is a good defense lawyer, which even if he did, the amount of evidence being collected against him is pretty damning. Josh was a man brainwashed by James into selling all of his belongings, made to walk over 4 miles to work to 2 separate jobs because James told him to sell his car, and also bled this man's life savings dry to support him, James, and his girlfriend, while James just spent Josh's money on $400 organic lamb and other useless junk, while also abusing his girlfriend on the regular. Once James bled Josh dry and ran up all his credit cards, he gaslit Josh into apologizing to James and convinced him that it was all his fault that his money was gone and now he was in debt.
As most everybody knows, I was following and was given money. I've always given money. That's always been my issue, was everything's been about money. I don't even know how much money I've given. I couldn't even guesstimate. But I will let everybody know that I am about $70,000 in debt. Most of it was mine.
That's not what you told me. You told me you had $16,000 in debt when we met.
I said most of it was mine before. Yeah. That's what I said before. That's before I knew it was mine. Then it came time for the rent and I didn't have it. I said, I don't have it. I am sorry for that. That I was trying to buy friendship is basically what I was doing. That was the biggest thing I tried to do was to buy a friend. And I'm gonna tell you that did not work out too well. That was not the way to go. Seemed right then the right thing to do. And now I realize that you can't buy friendship. Everybody saw that I was giving all the money, and it made me feel good for a while. I was feeling good. Oh, I can do this and do this, and just all of a sudden it caught up with me, and it's like I don't have anything else And when he needed me the most, I wasn't there. And I found out now that was not being a friend. That was being
A fraud?
Yeah, fraud, scammer. That was it. That was what I was looking for, scammer. I was actually a scammer.
James's girlfriend then left the place they were all staying at after cutting holes in Josh's clothes and peeing on them. Josh's niece, Tiffany, has been in contact with the DA prosecuting James and has been sending them countless videos as well as a written victim impact statement. They'll be read at James's next court hearing on August 30th. Tiffany was also having people supposedly contacting her claiming to be Oklahoma lawyers and to go easy on James because the poor guy, you know, he's young in his life and it's just fuck this guy, dog. Which prompted her to make this recording.
I want you to listen, and I want you to listen well. I am not here to dick around with any of you who think you're lawyers, who claim you're lawyers, who claim you've just been suddenly befriended by someone in Oklahoma and they're telling you everything you shouldn't know. Trust and believe every single one of those messages has gone to the district attorney's office. I am not kidding here. I am not joking around. I am not lying. I have the proof, and I will make certain that your names are known because this is not something you want to fuck me over on. So get the fuck out of my DMs. Get the fuck off of my Twitter. If you're not helping, you're hindering, and I have nothing to fucking say to you.
If you want to hear more about how Tiffany feels on James as a person and what he put Josh through, I'll leave a link to an interview she did with another YouTuber named Dr. Demonic. I'm also going to link 2 interviews done with Josh himself in the description below, one by Chris Anonymous and the other by Digital Goon. Hopefully James's girlfriend's parents are as in contact with the DA as this person is. So between the 2 witnesses that saw James strike his girlfriend, the possible pawn shop footage, the numerous online videos, and the victim impact statements from not only Josh's niece but possibly James's girlfriend's parents as well, I can't see the judge being very lenient with him, especially since maybe this is a sexist take here, but she's a woman judge. You know, I don't think this is a judge that's going to be like, well, you know, boys will be boys. Let's move on here. I think she's probably going to want to see James be held accountable for this because it shows a pattern of behavior. It just sucks that it had to take a public assault in order to have James take some accountability. But I guess that's life. Fuck, man. Another interesting thing that happened was James reached out to another Periscoper named Chendrix from jail via a phone call. He said he didn't accept the call. Chendrix thought this was weird because only 3 people from Periscope have his phone number, one of those 3 being Josh. And he said that Josh had reached out to him after a year of not talking to him ever since he played a prank on Chendrix with another Periscoper. What I believe happened is they were not really catfishing him, but pretending they wanted to hook up and then leaking Chendrix's DMs between him and this other Periscoper and making fun of him for it. Kind of like what happened to Jonathan Wombat.
It was a setup.
Tell us what you're talking about.
It's like a girl says she'll make out with you, but then her boyfriend is waiting around the corner with a pee-filled balloon. I got hit in the face with a pee-filled water balloon. Bam. Okay, I don't know how they did it. They filled the balloon with pee, a funnel. I don't know.
Only Chendrix didn't get hit in the head and become like the poster child for anti-bullying, at least in the early 2000s. My American audience probably has no idea what I'm talking about. This happened in my hometown. They made like a movie about it, and it really skewed the reality of events leading up to, during, and after the initial assault. Jonathan.
Yeah, hello? Now? Yeah, a couple minutes, okay?
Courtney?
Yo, where you going? He is godless, yo! What the shit, King? Oh, boy! Fatality. Man, I don't care if this kid lives or dies, yo!
But that's a whole other video. Maybe I'll make a video on that. In the DMs that Chendrix leaked between him and Josh mentions that James had reached out to a few other people from jail. When I asked Josh about this though, he first denied it before saying he didn't know if James had reached out to anyone else. And if he would have, it would have been through Facebook. But I don't understand how that would make sense. I can't see the judge giving him Facebook privileges. Or Chevrix just listing his number on there. So I don't know what prompted Josh to say this to Chevrix or how James got Chevrix's number. If he did in fact call him, which Josh Josh also seemed skeptical about. I reached out to Shevrix as well to ask him why he thought James reached out to him. From the messages he posted, it seemed like James was trying to crash with him when he was in Stillwater, asking for money to fix his car around mid-July. Shevrix never got back to me though, so I don't know what to believe here. He didn't like post like a missed call from the jail or anything, or like show his phone log, so I don't know. I think the only thing Shevrix is basing this off of is Josh reaching out to him after not talking to him for a while to apologize for the prank he played on him, and then James coincidentally also called him. So like, wouldn't it make more sense for Josh not to reach out to Shevrix at all if he was involved and post it just tonight? I don't know, fuck man. All I thought was, there's an update about James reaching out to someone, and then it got to like, I don't even know if this even happened anymore. So I'm gonna try to call James in jail and see. I'll ask him myself, even though I don't trust James either. But yeah, fuck it. I haven't had the best luck so far, but I'm optimistic and I enjoy a challenge. Anyways, that about does it for this video. Every time there's enough little updates here to put together for a video, I'll do a short video like this. If you want real-time Saroka updates, you can follow me on Twitter. Post everything there first. Till next time, I will see you then.